This is better. You win sometimes, lose sometimes. No need to apologize. It was the distance we had between us. You broke us down in disguise. No need to apologize. Ooh, 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 ooh. But I can help that I miss you now, and I need to reminisce this 'cause ooh, 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 ooh. It's a lot of moments and you keep coming back to me. I can't help that I miss you now. Can't say I like it, but I can fight it. Some things are not meant to be, even if it's hard to see. I'll try to let go. Let's get the apologies. Ooh. But I can help that I miss you now, and I need to reminisce this 'cause coming back to me. I can't help that I miss you now.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream. We're on Drift Matsuri weekend, so we're back at Anglesey Circuit. I know we're going to get a lot of questions about what game and everything that it is, so I'll get them out of the way straight away. It's Assetto Corsa on PC, plenty of mods available for it. The game can be picked up on Steam for not a lot of money. I think it's only usually about £5, something like that, so it's not too bad. Well worth it if you've got a decent enough gaming PC. Doesn't require that much to play this. So all you need is a PC really, a wheel, USB handbrake, and you're pretty much good to go. But yeah, there's pretty much every car and track you could want on here, so right, we'll get drifting.
Yeah, definitely a hard top.
I'll jump on the back of this one.
Yeah, Grant's the boy. Free shout out on the stream, Grant, GC Fabs.
Straight in there. Oh no, I'd got you muted, so you know that didn't come through. Brilliant.
Oh, that's fine. Oh. We were just talking about MX5s, obviously.
Nah, I forgot to turn you guys up, so there you go.
MX5's the best.
MX5s are cool.
You feel like you're under some kind of pressure to say that, Craig.
I am under pressure to say that because I have just driven one, and if anyone would like to check out my YouTube channel, Craig Does Drift, you will see me do it.
Sorry, I was
You need to mention as well.
I drove straight into you.
Rob just rammed me for trying to promote my own stuff. That's terrible.
You need to remember as well, it's not even just a normal MX5, it is a rotary MX5, which is the best thing.
It checks all the internet boxes, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is nothing better in this world than and somebody who's actually managed to do it.
I know it very well, with like mega custom stuff in it as well.
Yeah,
cool.
It's one of those swaps that so many people start and then realise that, yeah, it's a small engine, but it hits everything in an MX-5 as standard.
I can't find the cage laser one.
So
I'm
when
on
are you
vacation.
getting like a bus on the show?
They
bus.
just do the
Oh, there's a
like roll bars.
we have a G. There is a we've got a chaser that might be coming on, but like that's the moment. Obviously, you can't really get in a car with somebody you don't know. It's just frowned upon.
Yeah, at the minute.
What?
Yeah.
At the
Oh,
moment,
yeah.
we've got like there's 15 cars lined up for things. We've got we have.
Have you got like the support of Driftland? I take it when you do that kind of thing.
Yeah, so when we film it, it's filmed at Driftland. We promote, the guys there give us the track to be able to use, and
That's cool. You're able to do that though.
yeah, and we do that because then it helps promote Driftland, and also the guys that are around, in Scotland. There's such a big car scene,
Is there?
and well, with
I mean,
drifting
if
as well.
you just read entire internet rain posting, I'd disagree.
Interesting.
I think I was just watching you on YouTube.
Whoa, I'm concentrating and crashing. Oh!
I see
RX-7.
they posted though, like once the restrictions are lifted enough, about looking at running like another day like that one I came up to last time, the KD Customs type day,
Yeah,
which was a lot of fun.
yeah, and there's loads of to do.
Like-
For us to get back on track, we can do it with being completely socially distanced. There's no difficulty with that at all.
Yeah. Like for an event like that, for me, like they definitely have their time and place. You know, for
Uh-huh.
I think I didn't like where some events got to a little bit too close to destroying cars for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But that seemed a really balanced kind of event of, yes, there were some cars that came away with big damage, but there was also a lot of cars that came away with just like a dented door and maybe a wing. I think I damaged 2 cars that weekend. My 46 I got rammed, but I got rammed. I didn't hit anyone, and then that knocked my coilover out, and we couldn't fix it because the actual bottom part of the coilover was bent. But we got another one from BC and it was good. But then I got stuck in a Volvo that my friend had, and he was like, "Oh, just take this out," and I got punted into the wall. So it's like I think with certain kinds of drivers get a little bit wound up and just go a wee bit mental, but you can definitely do those events with like very little damage to cars. I think from my point of view, like it was good to go and shoot because it was people practicing with, you know, a few invited pro drivers like, you know, the Shanahans and Kevin Quinn and stuff like that. So they got to drive with, you know, people that they really want to drive with. But at the same time, like, nobody was kicking off if they overcooked it and just wiped out the guy in front. You'd spin him out with a bit of a tap on the rear end and go again. Like,
Those ones were the worst ones for actually crashing cars, because those cars were for that weekend. They didn't really need to worry about
Jack
them.
wasn't in his car, was he? So his finish with just a front and rear bumper hanging off, because he got told he had to take care of it because he was in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, his car broke, didn't it, straight away? I can't
right,
remember what
okay,
was up with
right.
it. But he was then in Harry Kerr's car, I think it was. So he got told he wasn't allowed to trash that one. So when he was like on the oval, he just kept pulling the rear bumper off it on the wall.
Yeah. That wall was well dodgy as well, because it was like, it was not smooth, and
No, it
it
wasn't.
obviously had stock cars crashed into it. I took my bumper off it a few times, and I was like, this is just like running it along a cheese grater.
Kevin Quinn in that compact was funny though. He came backward into the corner, punted the wall completely flat on the back end, moved the whole back panel forward, clutch kicked it and drove off like nothing had happened. And like he had flown back in his seat. It looked pretty violent from what we could see on the media side. It just didn't seem to faze him. Just off he went again.
Another breed.
Yeah.
Oh, clutch kicking. Yeah, it will be good to get out in real cars again.
Yeah, it will. But until then, this is a
Yeah,
good
this is a
substitute.
great way of doing it. It's a brilliant substitute. God, what I wouldn't have done with it.
Because it doesn't matter if I crash into people.
I don't think I'd have a
Trying to let you
license.
in front. Just kept pulling up alongside me every time I hit the brakes.
Oh no, I've got a lag spike. Who's joining?
Oh, it's hard.
Oh, lag spike.
Ryan, it's Assetto Corsa on PC. If you've got a PC that's, well, it doesn't even need to be that decent by today's standard. If you've got a half decent gaming PC, it'll probably play this on some level. This is pretty high graphics settings for this game though. It's quite an old game.
I played it on integrated graphics, so it doesn't need that much to run it.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Unless you want to turn all the graphics settings up on
Yeah.
the latest mods and things like that. But
I mean,
I think the
granted,
game's
the
only like
graphics-
five quid these days usually. It's usually on offer on Steam. I think, what, it's got to be 6-7 years old now, Assetto Corsa?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
I first played it at uni, so that would have been like 2013, 2014.
Oh, I can't see it.
Well,
My bad.
I forgot you don't have many laps in here, so I kind of threw it in. I'm used to you being like really decent paced on every track we go on, and then I forgot you'd done like 8 laps around here or something.
Yeah.
Is Rob cheating to make himself look good?
No, I just got far too close.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Because-
played it on the Ryzen 3. I think it's a 2200 integrated graphics, so it's not even the most powerful one. And it ran fine on low. I mean, it didn't have much lag spikes or anything like that. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
You just had to put everything on low.
Alright, I gotta set up the gaming rig.
Oh, so when you
Hi,
said what time we were
everybody.
starting, you were coming on and not even ready. Note, I gave you room there. I got punted from behind as well.
That was me.
Alright, I saved it.
When I said 20 minutes was me coming home.
Oh, okay. I thought that was 20 minutes. I'll get set up and be ready.
No, it won't take me that long. I just gotta push and get the clothes off the seat.
That was my fault. I looked out my driver's door. Some people attention.
As we all know, if you're not using your racing seat, it's a laundry hamper for clean clothes that you're never gonna fold.
How's Kev playing?
Alright, you?
Hey, Kev!
Hi, everybody.
I like your drive-by-wire throttle pedal.
Wait, what? Wait, wait, can I see this?
More like drive-by Wi-Fi, I suppose.
That was drive-by pulling the other end of the cable with my hand.
Oh, sorry, boys. Oh. I thought I caused that accident.
No, I got a slight tap putting just about putting my wheels on the grass, but I managed to recover it.
So before I do any of that, let me download these tracks and the cars and then update.
Yeah, just don't mention the second track. We haven't said on stream what we're doing yet.
Bill?
No, nobody knows.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
I thought that's where you're going as well. Which always reminds me of that Looney Tunes song from the movie.
We do chat about the most random stuff when we're streaming.
Yeah.
At least it's not pizzas this time.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
no, you started it.
terrible.
Oh!
Sorry.
I mean, I'm still going to recover that somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
No one else
I got
did.
hit by 2 separate people.
The Drift Master is about to get and mess everything up. Alright.
Well, Martin's coming.
Ha! Ha!
Oh,
You made
Hi,
a
Ash.
funny.
Come and join us.
feels bad.
Right, come on.
Ashton, he gave up drifting. He became a trucker now. Ugh.
Oh, is he
Oh,
playing Euro
are
Truck
you
Simulator?
calling Ash out on stream?
Ash don't drift no more. He's a full-blown trucker now in the good old state of Alaska.
Oh, is that?
Oh, he's just playing
Snow
SnowRunner.
Because every time I see him, that's all
Sorry,
he's
I got
playing.
punted.
Who I haven't drift Anglesey alongside.
So I think we've had plenty of food debates on the stream. We need a different debate for people.
Well, oh, Chipotle.
No,
Listen.
no, we're not going
No,
with
no,
food
no.
debate. I think we should go with something car based.
What's
Oh,
the
no.
best MX No.
No.
And Tristan's doing backflips again.
What is the best
Wasn't just me.
front and rear
What
end
is it?
combination on S bodies?
Best
What
front and
is it?
rear end combination.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not
Ooh.
fair because I don't like Nissans like that. I'm a Mazda guy and a BMW
Yeah, what's
guy.
the best Japanese car?
Oh, hands down. Wait, like
FDR7.
car?
Yeah.
Anything that has a
Everyone seems
rotary.
better at food debates.
Anything that has a rotary in it. I'm so biased. I don't care what anyone say.
You should watch Craig's newest video.
Yeah, well, if you like Mazdas and rotary,
Yeah. Craig, I saw it.
My
I saw
channel,
you
YouTube
tried.
channel,
I know.
big
Trust me. I saw it. Craig, I saw it. Craig, I
2
saw
hours
it. You
and
tried.
14 minutes. Ah.
yeah.
That's a pretty grippy car, huh?
Oh, that car was just like the thing was made of glue. The tires
You
were just like
kind of
that.
understeering
I
and
love
all that
car
other
man.
good stuff too. He wasn't
I
going
think as
nowhere.
well the diff in it was a wee bit. We think it was the diff was being overpowered and it was making it really like weirdly twitchy because it didn't seem to be just. Whoop.
What diff was it meant to be?
You know, it was a standard viscous. Is it they're viscous
Oh.
in MX-5?
Some of them are viscous, some of them are Torsons, and then there's some clutch pack ones which are awful.
Well, it wasn't an uprated. It was a no way locked Well,
was that
it
a
was-
1.6 or a 1.8 originally?
pass.
Okay.
You just broke me.
If it RX works, we'll be able to follow
So-
me with that.
If we go back to the original thing of like S chassis swaps, front and rear ends, I think the only way a 14 looks good, other than obviously the 14 fronts, is 15 front. A 13 front on a 14 I think looks weird.
Yep.
What? 1 year lapse over the other?
Like a 13 front on a 14 just looks odd. A 13 with anything else on the front of it, I don't like.
Agreed. Oh, apart from the Honda Odyssey front end.
What?
No,
Yes, but we're talking about swapping
that-
we're talking about swapping S chassis fronts here, not other
Yeah.
cars onto it.
Yeah, you can't use that. That's cheating.
My favourite then is the Silati. Silati is actually just God spec.
And other than 1 or 2 cars I've seen, I prefer 15s to just be left alone.
Yeah. 15s look good as they are. 14s with a 15 front, I kind of like. 'Cause the
Me, I
14
I
rear is
love.
generally
gorgeous.
don't, but then Ollie Evans' car, I do.
Yeah, you see.
And it's like that with the 15s with front end swaps for me. There's 1 or 2 that I really like. I don't know what everyone else's opinion is on it, but like, it's.
Nah.
I just prefer the kind of standard cars normally. Like,
I go through phases.
For me, I love a S13 trunk. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. I love it just like that. With a little pop-up.
See,
Or
I've never liked the S15 rear lights. There's just something about them that doesn't look right, but nothing else looks better.
S15 still look expensive to
Yeah,
crack
I
to
don't-
drift with. Like that's one of the cars I'm like, yeah, I don't want to drift you.
Yeah,
you look
as a
kind of
road
expensive.
car, I love them. They're cool, but actually, you know what? Boss front end.
No.
Oh,
Boss front end.
No,
yes,
no, that just ruins it.
yes.
I don't.
There's
like
only
it,
one boss.
but-
There's only one boss front end, and it's Corey's Hosford's car. That's it. Anything
No,
else?
I don't generally like it, but there are a couple that I like. I like Corey's, I like Carolina Polacek's car, and I like who's the guy that Lunatics by Nature guy that did one? I can't think who it was.
Pass.
What's his
Have
name?
you seen Iliuk's one?
Yeah, I'm not overly keen on it. I'm not sure why.
I love the exhausts. When that
Yes.
thing lights off on the rev limiter,
Yeah.
it looks like a Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Oh yeah, it's great to photograph, really is. But there's just something about it. I can't quite put my finger on it. That I'm not quite sure why I don't like it because.
I'm stuck.
Oh, third. Will do.
I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna use my computer screen for my racing, so my flat screen. Yeah.
No,
I would love to do a boss on the front of my car, but I just think too much. There's not enough room left in front of the engine to put stuff.
Oh, were you on
They just don't look
scene?
good.
I was on your door and you did
Oh,
no
I
tree
love
on
them.
me.
It's an acquired taste on certain cars. Like certain people could get away with it, but there's a lot that's like.
Was it Sultan Al Qasimi's boss car?
Ah, yeah,
No,
that
it's
sounds
Danny
right.
Neville.
Yeah, Danny Neville, his teammate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that Jap Speed Subaru was an epic car. Whether it was driven by Bagsy or Danny
Yeah,
Wiles later.
that was a cool car.
It keeps getting
Yeah.
teased to come back, doesn't it? I think
Yeah.
we need to maybe hound Paul about that one and find out what's going on with it. I swear they just have a photo vault, like, bring stuff out every time they want to wind people up a bit. When's the Subaru coming back?
Subarus are standard cars as well.
Does that still have the boxer motor in it, or is it?
No.
Nah,
it's,
it's 2J.
Yeah.
I think.
There's a guy over there that's drifting one with the boxer motor in it.
Is it, or was
right?
it 1J? I know
I
that
think it was
is
1J,
Tiger's
wasn't it?
2J.
J,
isn't
I-
it?
I think it might be old enough that it was still back in 1J days.
I got a feeling it's a 1J. I only saw it
Didn't
compete
it have
with
a-
Danny Isles. I never saw Bagsy drive it. Bagsy was not Jap Speed team anymore by the time I came around. But
Oh! I got absolutely.
He's on the perfect line.
All right. Second.
Oh, Lewis,
if anyone's
hello.
seen it, it's not a competition
Wasn't
car,
me.
but Bagsy's R35 is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
As far as like, you know, cars for any purpose that our drift cars go,
Yeah.
that thing is a wild car, and its turbo is. I don't
Yeah.
know if they make a bigger turbo without it being for a truck or a train.
When we saw
or
that
something.
at NEC, like, my boss swore, and this is a man who's been around race engines his whole life. He was just like, that turbo is what?
Yeah. I remember the hype it got around it when it was unveiled at Goodwood with the Battle Drift video. Him and,
Oh, a Daigo.
Him and Daigo on the docks in London, yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Ah, it's not bad.
I should really do a competition with some of the stuff I have left over from that. I have all of the media pack and that multiple times over.
Oh,
I
where
could
am
give
I
that away
going?
to some people, maybe.
Definitely.
Oh.
People
Oh,
should
you
let
want-
me know on the
you want
stream
my
if they
address?
want some of that, you know?
You want my address?
If
I
anyone
got you.
wants some of the Monster Energy media pack left over.
Yeah,
couple
sure.
of-
I'll send you my.
Yeah, I'll take it, Rob. No problem.
There's like pen drive, Monster Energy pen drive that's got all the behind the scenes photos on it. There's a little booklet with all the photos printed in that you only got if you're at the premiere of Battle Drift 2. There's some cool stuff that we got.
That booklet.
See, Tristan, would you prefer that or some red wheel nuts?
Hey, wait.
Oh, I'm not giving away red wheel nuts. Don't give people that idea.
Oh, no, that's me. I am.
Oh, in all honesty, I forgot about the wheel nuts.
It's alright, I've not been able to post them out. But... Tell you what, Tristan,
Excuse
I'll
me.
send you the wheel nuts if you buy a sticker.
Didn't clarify what sticker,
Shoot,
but I
I'll-
want of mine.
No. Well, I need to give you measurements for my one, don't I? Anyway,
Yes.
and I will purchase the only sticker you have left available on rear axle divert big cartel.
This is just plug central tonight.
We need Bagsy in here just saying that other brands are available every time someone mentions.
No, there are no other brands available.
No,
I am
no.
the only one.
There is only us and our brands. Nothing else exists.
If
Oh,
that
sorry,
was
Lewis.
not plug to you,
Existed, you
Bryn,
get
I
in
don't
here.
know what is.
Apart from all these lovely brands you see on the inside of the corner.
Yeah, that support UK
Oh.
drifting. That's why they're all there. Brands that help us
That was not.
keep events going.
What brands
was the-
are those?
Oh god.
Let me read. Lorenza, Garage D, GFB,
GFB.
Corbo. Hang on, I need to get further
Other
around the
brands
track to
are
find
available.
some more.
Super Pro, Rob.
Yeah, let me get round here. Driven Oils. I can't read them, I'm too far away. Super Pro.
Drift Matsuri, the one that's green. Or is that yellow?
Oh yeah, everything drift. Yeah, don't forget that.
That's the middle one. How'd you miss that one?
Oh.
How much more American could this get?
Oh, we also say we love
We
everything
also,
and how amazing everything
Some
is.
of us directly will drop your name in. It's at a thing.
Yeah. Don't you have to like name all the different, like this is the Super Pro Matsuri, whatever they call it, kind of. Oh no, I've lost it.
No, we've not got official tyre partner and official oil and.
But if anyone would love to do,
Oh
to
yeah.
sponsor,
Just a message.
If anyone wants to pay us to game, sure.
yeah, we will happily do that.
Hey, you joke about it. It happened once.
Oh,
If you want to be a tire sponsor and give us 2 tires to not use them, that would be great.
2?
And that's
God, you
2
gotta aim
tyres
higher
per-
than that, Bryn.
Hey, I've got an MX-5. That's all I need. That'll do me 2 weekends.
I was going to say I have an MX-5 as well. That's going to last me about 4 months.
Yeah, I went through 6 tires this year.
oh that's
Well, you
gonna
don't drift
last me
enough then,
about
do you?
Because there's
four
been no
laps.
drifting this year.
Apparently, you need to restock, Brit.
Ah,
I do need to
I got
restock,
completely caught out there.
I am
Yeah,
fully out of tires.
I kind of dropped the wheel over the curb and lost my momentum.
Woo. No, that doesn't work.
God, it's gotten very, very warm in my office now.
Yeah, I am for war. I'm going to go get the fan.
Hang
You've
on,
got no
back row.
fan. You've got no fan.
I'm in the smoke, I can't see. Oh! Clobbered. Still going. Oh, off the track. Coming back.
Craig does
Oh.
mowing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now that drifting, I was going to say that now that drifting is banned because of lockdown, Craig takes up a new profession.
Yeah. Well, if only drifting was my profession, that would be amazing.
do you ever find yourself on YouTube watching the most random things because it's slightly linked to something you watch?
All the time.
Yeah.
I watched Grass Care because it was
Oh.
the guy that was doing the lawn care at Freedom Factory for Cletus McFarlane, and I was like somehow watching it, and then all of a sudden I was like, why am I interested in this?
I watched a video on that.
I found myself watching a lot of RC plane crashes.
Well, that's just mean.
It's really, you go, oh, that feels... you go,
All
oh
that
my God, that looks
time
amazing.
and money, and you're just
Oh,
like,
no.
look at it smashing the ground.
Yeah, I'm not interested in seeing it do anything else. Or the other one I kind of found was RC drag cars recently.
Oh, they're cool.
Mhm.
It's like guys who just go out onto roads and then like make their car go past them really fast and then have to drive a mile to go and find it.
Have you tried RC drifting?
No.
Yes. I used to have an RC drift car.
I I asked some guys if I could do it once. There was one of the events, and then they're like, "No," and I was a wee bit like, "No, that's a bit tight of them not doing that." And then find out later how much their cars are worth, and you're like, "Oh, I wouldn't let me have a shot at that either." Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I go and shoot the slide house days with sweeps and that lot, and it's a lot of fun. Like I get a chance to have a go on some of the cars for a bit, and it's, I don't know, it's easier than I thought it was going to be, but that's probably because I kind of expect the car to do like certain things. You know, you kind of know how it should react as you try to do a transition and things like that. So it's probably easier for someone that's followed drifting to get the hang of it than it is for someone that has never done anything and just gone, oh, let me try this. And
Are they four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive that you've played with?
Rear-wheel drive.
Ah, see, that was the big difference when I used to have one. Four-wheel drives were the thing, and rear-wheel drives were new. Four-wheel drive was so weird to get used to.
Like, it probably took me...
were.
It probably took me half hour to be able to start to link a track. Not on the line everybody else was doing, but I could get around a track without, like, hitting the wall continuously. And then when we were at the NEC, they had a track there this year, Autosport, and I could not get that track right for the life of me. It didn't matter how much I tried. Yeah,
I'd like to go with the rear-wheel drive stuff, because I think they'd be a lot better.
They are really good. And I've used
the
them
four-wheel
on...
drive was weird. Like, you had to really, really light throttle all the time to keep it going, and it didn't feel like proper drifting. If you put your finger down and gave it a load of throttle, it just behaved wrong.
Yeah, no, these are really quite responsive to the these are really responsive to the steering and throttle inputs. And it's a lot of fun. It's just you can get into it reasonably cheap.
Oh!
Like, sorry, I didn't see everybody check up in front of you, Tristan. So when you checked up, I did, but I was already too late on it to not hit you. Like, you can get into RC drifting, reasonably cheap, I guess. I suppose it depends on, like...
RTR.
It depends on reasonable, I suppose. But then you can also,
that's why
like...
an RTR, though.
You can go, like, crazy with it.
Yeah. Body shit.
Like, it's cool to see some of the stuff people do, though. Like, when I went to Slide House last time I was there, I think it was, Callum Craddy had, like, Mad Mike's Gen 7.3, so the Mad Bull with the RX3 front on it, had a shell of that, and it was really good as a replica. Like, I was looking at it like, how many hours are in that? And he was telling me, like, he'd picked it up off somebody and how much work had gone into it. And you're just there thinking, like, I don't think I'd put it on a track. I think I'd be scared of smashing the shell, but then I don't know how, like...
They're pretty robust, and the paint goes on the inside, which is very weird. They're clear shells with paint on the inside, so they're pretty hard to break. But, yeah. That actually is one of the weird YouTube videos I ended up watching yesterday, was RC Drift smoke and, like, pop and bang attachments that people have got. Like, little lighters that pop flames out the exhaust and stuff. And
Sweeps is working on a little guy that turns his head and steers the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be attached to, like, the steering servo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad the stuff you can do.
That just snapped on me completely. Did somebody touch me or something?
No, I was behind you, and normally you would say yes, but definitely didn't. I was like, that's unusual. But that's normally what's happening. Oh, come on. Oh,
Sorry, Tristan?
What chassis did you start with then?
I had an MST-01D RTR.
What does that
same
mean?
as what I started. That's what I started with.
Yeah, I just found four-wheel drive stuff really odd. Like, it didn't, you want to power over, and if you do that, it just kind of ruins the look of drifting. Yeah, I like that. I had a little R32 body and a JZX 110.
Have you seen the videos of that guy? Was it over in Norway, and they do the at Gatbull, and he's got the four-wheel drive
Yeah.
Escort, and he's doing drifting in it, and it's mental.
They're
At
just fully
Gambell, they
go back.
actually do a 4-wheel drive session on track. And you get like a
Yeah.
couple of Audis and stuff like that, and they're just like 900,000 horsepower, and they're just throwing it in, putting it 90 degrees to the track, and then just flooring it and seeing the smoke
Yeah.
clouds come out behind them.
It's when you start to see the smoke creep up the passenger window and start to come off the front wing mirror that you're like, that is cool.
The craziest thing I saw at Gapville when I was there was a guy who took, I think it was a Model A Ford hot rod, and it
Yes.
had a Volvo engine, I believe it was, twin turboed. It was like on the wastegate already at like idle, and he took it out on track in torrential rain on slicks because he didn't have anything else to put it on, and it was crazy. There was also a late 60s Camaro drift car, but I don't think he intended it to really be. I don't know if it was built as a drift car or what. He was just in one of the public sessions where it's open driving, and he was drifting.
Well, I'm in the process of building a car from the 70s that's going to be a drift car.
What's
Yeah.
that?
An MGB GT.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You know what fits great in them? MX-5 stuff.
I know. At
Genuine.
the moment, it's got a terrible V8 in it, which
Ugh.
is not what's going to happen. It needs that changed, but it's
To a
might
better
be getting a
V8.
little. No,
There's
it's I want it to be. I'm thinking it might go SR. I want a turbocharged thing that'll rev to the moon.
Who's leading this train? Because it feels like we're like 80% pace of normal.
Me. That's probably why.
It's quite nice, really. Relaxing.
We can all chat without crashing.
It was just really hard to be like 5th or 6th in the train, whatever I was, and trying to maintain like the line. I was like, what's going on here?
I got knocked in the first corner as well.
Oh, Jesus.
That's because
One of my neighbours appears to be having a barbecue, but they're doing a terrible job of getting the thing lit. I'm about smoked out in here. I'll be right back.
What glitching going on all over the shot here.
no.
Oh.
I think we need another question for the audience.
The audience going to ask this question. Oh dear.
No, a question for them.
Oh, question for them.
They didn't seem that bothered about swapping front ends on S chassis, so you know.
Right. What's the best livery in here?
Now, best livery overall on any car.
Oh, best livery overall in any car. The one that's going on my car that nobody knows about.
Yeah. I'm quite partial to the Blitz liveried cars.
Some really nice Advan liveries.
Sorry, Lewis.
There is. Mark, it's Assetto Corsa on PC. Yeah, there's a lot of nice Advan cars. I'm just thinking more drift cars, because if it was circuit racing cars, my choice is very, very different.
Team Orange.
At the moment, I don't know.
Which one?
What's the question here?
Best livery
Liveries.
drift car.
Ooh.
Should we do British best livery drift cars? Because then we've got.
No, just overall for the
Reference.
world. Overall for the world.
Oh,
Someone has said
I-
Driftworks though. Any particular car and livery, because they've been through a few. Smoking Skills was a pretty cool one of theirs, I suppose, and a pretty famous one of theirs.
I really like Mad Mike's MX-5. Link it back to MX-5s.
Which generation? The all
Yeah.
black?
The black one, the one that had the cutouts in the rear arches, so the wheels would pop out as the tires would pop out or rub when they would be rubbing through. Loved that car.
So second
Totally.
year of FD.
Oh no, I don't think it was an FD car. I think it was a Wasn't Mad Mike's? Were they
Or are you on
FD
about
cars?
after it went back to New Zealand
Yeah,
and
I
was
think
then
I'm
redone?
after. Yeah, I think it was after I went back to New Zealand.
Yeah, the 20B version then. But that's a good shout actually. But for me, I think it would be Mad Mike's earlier trash camo livery on his RX-7.
When he first got Red Bull? Like that kind of
not,
era?
Yeah, that kind of era. That kind of era, but not the first version he did. There was one that was a bit better colours, and it just looked amazing.
Sorry, boosted.
I knew it was going to happen if I tried to transition. I seen you there. I was like, this ain't going to work.
Yeah, Ryan's put the orange and black with the zip splitting in the middle. Yeah, that was about the same kind of era as the Smoking Skills, wasn't it? I think they just they did it with and without the packet on it at different times.
I think I want to change my answer actually. My favourite livery has got to be Matt Powers with his asymmetric zebra, like high-vis zebra print livery.
I think he's had the best racing suit of anyone with a tuxedo.
Tuxedo, yeah.
That was cool.
Although, what's
there's
your man that's in
the Irish guy.
IBC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayden.
Yes, Peter
Yeah,
Nielsen.
with the lumberjack style thing.
Ooh.
I do like his clear doors. I tried multiple times to photograph him through the clear door, and it just never works. It distorts the image too much. I've got one that's sort of okay, but I'm still not really happy with it.
Oh, come on! I'm gonna get out of here.
I was big, left foot
still
braking
on
and everything.
Still on lock. I'm gonna make it. Here we go. And third clutch kick. Oh, look at that! Styled that one out.
If I went on any more left foot there, I would have just locked up.
Right, let's go.
We'll have to go up on the other track for a few laps. 40 minutes and we haven't even done the other track yet.
Right, this lap and another track.
On the top track, yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Rob, I'm not gonna.
Sorry,
T-bone you
Lewis.
this
I looked at the response. The livery from Simon Perry on his Lassa R35. Which one?
He had about 3 different liveries on that, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Lassa, weren't it the same as? Didn't it
Yeah, I
have the
suppose
same
when it was
design as
full
Brett
Lassa
and Joe?
livery. Yeah. Full Lassa livery did look quite good on it.
That's the purple one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like pink and purple, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That is really scary in VR.
Right,
yeah,
top track.
I've got VR on as well. It's terrifying, isn't it?
Simple yet effective, but still iconic. Huxley's Volvo.
Oh, which one though? Grey for me.
The grey and blue, yeah.
Yeah.
That colour scheme
Actually-
worked really well, didn't it? As fairly simple
Really,
livery.
really did, yeah.
I really like that. It's Huckley's Celica, but the new colour scheme it's got on it now, that white and red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
I like Jap Speed's old IS200.
What, in its current livery?
No, the old one, the white and black, like the shiny Jap Speed logo.
Yeah, but I prefer that car now in its current livery.
I
think the modern livery on it looks really nice. I've
Jap
got
Speed livery in general has always been quite good.
Yeah, I've got a car shoot to release on that car actually. When we start to get near to the Drift Cup season, we did a shoot with Ant at Three Sisters at the end of last round 4 last year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We're going to try and release it as like a bit of a pre-season type thing whenever we get running again, whether it's this year, hopefully it's this year. But a bit of like a thing about him, his time competing that and the car. So I really like it in its current livery. I think it looks really nice, and I shot it at sunset on Three Sisters, so I'm kind of a bit biased when it comes to the livery on that car.
Tell you what, I'm not sure I'd put this in as a vote for the best livery, but certainly one of the most memorable and interesting is Peter Hayden's Ricky Bobby tribute, complete with jacket.
Hayden Cruikshank.
Oh, Hayden Cruikshank, sorry, I always do that. I actually know the guy as well. It's because I only ever called him Hayden.
Hayden, if you're watching the live stream, yep, that was
Max Cotton doesn't like your livery.
Oh yeah, hide behind my alter ego.
Yeah, blame it on Max.
Hayden, God.
I don't know which livery you're on about there, Ryan. Andy Arnott's white Tiki Mask livery. I don't remember that. I've only ever seen their cars in the Dayglow kind of colours they're in now.
Yeah, I've seen them white. They looked a lot simpler.
Right, back in a minute.
Right, 3 of us here.
Oh, let's go. Although, talking of old liveries, we're going to have to go with Mr. Wannacott's glitter bus.
Oh, yeah.
The glitter bus, yeah.
When it was white, when it had the white front end, orange and red.
I'm so glad that drivers turn up with their cars like looking so much more complete than they used to round 1. I sent Lewis a photo of Martin Wanacott at round 1 a couple of years back, and it's like the car's like, I guess the body kit hadn't turned up in time or whatever, and it's like front bumper, no side skirts, no livery whatsoever, and it was just like, I remember the days when people used to come to round 1 and they were still like trying to finish their cars, like at the round.
Deep challenge. This is your extra hour on the last day.
So glad it's moved on from that a bit. I mean, I'm sure someone hasn't got a problem with mentioning it. I remember Brad Wallbank welding a cage into his car at a round.
Welding.
Does it meet specs? Well, once you finished it, yes.
How far he's come? He's now inspecting the cage.
15 minutes.
He was finishing that off at I think it was Liddon Hill. You know, Liddon was well equipped though if you needed to do that kind of thing. Had a 2-post lift and everything. Might have been 4.
No way.
Yeah, there was 2-post lift I think. But
and you were allowed to use it and everything.
Well, I mean, the amount of cars I saw up on there, I saw Ollie Elmore's car up on there at one point with John Shanahan with a hammer. There was people welding stuff in there.
Does John have anything other than a hammer?
I was just going to say, when do you see him without a hammer?
Isn't John? Yeah, I thought just one of his hands was a hammer.
I did
People
put an Instagram photo up a couple of weeks back,
hammers.
and did put something like, you know, John Shanahan with a hammer is not exactly a rare sight around the pits, and it got like no reaction from anybody, and I was like, what the hell?
What about the evolution when was it Fink stacked that car into a wall and there's John Shanahan with a jack handle in the wheel arch smacking it with a jack to try and bend the arch back out.
Yep.
That's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Anything is a hammer.
So that he could go and try and battle his son as well though, like.
Yep.
That's how good the competition is. Like, get your competitor back on track to do the battle properly. Don't win the easy battle.
He is the man that everybody should aspire to be.
Yeah. When I first... No, not the first time I met them, but I think it was like second or third time I saw them.
Oh, sorry.
Drift All-Stars Stratford in London. Dimitri Ilyuk crashed and hit the wall and ripped the wheel off his car. And the marshals had barely even gotten over the wall, and John Shanahan's already running and dragging a jack across the track. And I'm like, how has he seen it and responded quicker than the marshals?
What a hero.
That goes up, that goes down. I feel so much on my monitor
to
now.
sort out this rig.
Oh, me? No, I disappeared. I had to.
46 minutes, apparently.
I disappeared, alright?
When
So my
Sig
plan-
says means 20 minutes, he means 4 hours.
Yeah, Ryan, I watched Hyperdrive.
What happened was I ran out of batteries for my Steam controllers. So I had to go
I
get
watched
that.
Hyperdrive because through my travels, I've met a fair few people that were on that show, so I wanted to kind of see how they've done. But I think very Americanized the show. It was good.
I enjoyed it.
Hopefully they do a season 2.
The second episode.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
It gets better and better.
Yeah. I was just gutted for Axel that he didn't win it.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I'm not going to say who won it, but you know, he didn't. His car was breaking. You could tell he wasn't going to from like the moment his car was like barely holding together episode after episode.
Wasn't it a Nissan that won?
Getting
Where you
pushed off
going?
by Bryn before I even get to the...
I mean, I'm the leader, so
But there's 2 lanes
that
there.
sounds like a you
There's
problem.
2 lanes, not one.
There hasn't been a lead lane called, so it's whoever arrives first.
It's always left.
Yeah, but there needs to be room for me to drive off the start line without you just going, and there's the grass.
It's one of many reasons I will never go
Oh, I froze. Oh god.
Yeah, he was a really good driver in there. In the, what was his name? Joao
Which one?
Barrion, is it? In the 2006 Mustang.
Yeah. 2006?
No, not 2006 Mustang, the old Mustang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the new girl, what's her face, that was in the new Mustang. He was in the old Mustang, but obviously wasn't an old Mustang underneath.
Yeah, it's quite funny how all those people were meant to be like amateur drivers, and you're like, you guys are not amateurs.
No. No, I mean, Axel beat Gaz Taylor in France when we were out there drifting on the mountains for King of Togay. Axel's a really good driver. He actually beat him in that car that he took to Hyperdrive. But that's his spare car now, because he's built a GT86 for Drift Masters. But it was just... I don't know, I think the thing that bugged me was like, the British person they picked was a drag racer, and it was like, well, they stand no chance in this show, do they? Cause... And then they made them just look even stupider by just like flying straight on at the corner, and it was like, why have you bothered? So, yeah, I just wish they didn't do that, but it's part of making a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out
trying
to,
to make a story and...
Yeah. Shout out to Aaron Parker's RX-7 though. I was very disappointed we didn't get more shots at that.
Yeah.
Like, they really didn't show you much of his first run, and I thought if you want something that's going to make good TV, it's going to be something that spits flames and is, like, glow in the dark near enough.
Yeah, and it's like, for the type of driver that Fielding Shredder is, I think the way that he comes off in the show, doesn't show him as good a driver as he necessarily is.
No, but if you want to see how good he is, you go do some Lone Star Drift Week.
Yes. Yeah.
Another plug.
See him initiating at 105 mile an hour, all 4 wheels in the air.
Yeah.
Just because the person before him did 103, and he's like, I'm gonna go faster. My favourite bit in the whole of Drift Week was Luke Fink.
All drivers are wired, though.
Yeah, Luke Fink in Drift Week, just like showing all of them up at drift parking, and they're all like, how is he doing this? And he's just like, this is my thing, I've got this. Just doing everything ridiculous, and they're like, are you just like cheating physics or something?
Yeah, but the thing is, with like all the drivers on Drift Week are insane drivers, but Luke is just a level above them.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you're all professional drivers. Yes, some of you do this for a living. Guess what? I can rip this G35 hard and...
Well, Luke sort of does it for a living. That and running his own racetrack now.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
But what I mean, like, compared to, Matt Field.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very different way of doing it.
Yeah, where Matt...
I think Matt's got more experience at way faster stuff, though. Like, look, when you watch his YouTube stuff, you know, he's pretty much running around small tracks all the time. So he's dialed in for that kind of setup.
Yeah, these days he is, yeah.
But that's just like...
He used to drive for Lowbrain, didn't he, across Europe?
Yeah.
That was a good livery as well.
Yeah.
It's just the track. It's just the track layouts for the countries, isn't it?
Ah, misshifted.
Corner up.
You actually didn't touch me. That was just that close. Didn't touch me then either.
I'm getting better at this jamming on my semi-functioning brakes.
No, I really like Luke as a person and a driver. Brilliant guy to spend time with.
Came up to Driftland and did some teaching with us, and I had my S14, and I'm a little bit of a skinny chap, And he went, come on, get in my car and just show me how to do it. And he got in the car and it didn't fit in the seat. And he spent the laps going round, and he would go, it was all right on a left-hander, but then he would get jammed because he would move on a right-hander and his legs would get stuck against the wheel and he couldn't drive it. But he could still do a lap better than I could in my car. We've only been able to steer one direction.
We were at Birmingham Wheels for UK Grand Slam, and
Where are you guys going?
we were on a private. It was like a practice day, but I don't think it was open to the public. It was a Friday anyway, so there was no one really around. And Luke was in the commentary tower just giving me crap over the commentary PA system all day because I was doing the media work. And Dan Firmager was struggling with a little bit of the track, and Luke was like, "Con, give me a car, I'll show you how it's done." And I was like, "Yeah, Luke, you show him how it's done." And he stacked it and put it in the wall, and as he got out of the car I was like, "That's right, you've shown him how it's done, mate." And he's like, "Shut up, Rob." So we winded him up for like the next day or so.
He's, having never met the guy, Luke has always seemed like one of those dudes that he will happily get in any car and rip it better than you have ever driven it, but also like fully not care in a way, like one of those Nakamura types that maybe probably doesn't wear his seatbelt half the time because he just doesn't care, like, you know, and sit on the top of the seat because he doesn't fit.
Like Robbie Yates was there, and he's deaf, so he's not allowed to drift at most tracks. He doesn't have a driving license. And he was there, and obviously the issue communicating the line to him, and once he'd got the line but was struggling to get it quite right, Luke was having an issue trying to communicate that to him. So Luke was like, just give me a car, put Robbie in the passenger seat, and he did like 2 laps and was like, okay, that's how you do it. Robbie jumps back in and he's like, I think there was 6 clips on the wall. And Robbie's like wall tapping every single time, and Luke's just like, yep, big thumbs up, done. And for like the next day and a half, every single lap he was just like, yeah, I need another sticker kind of thing. Because Robbie was just coming to me every time he'd done a wall tap and just covering over the damage with everything drift stickers. The whole back of his car was stickers by the end of the event. But he got through every 15-inch tyre that the tyre guy had available for sale. He'd just gone up and bought everything. I've never seen someone get so much seat time over 2 days.
I did an event over in Ireland, and they had Chris Forsberg and Ryan Turk over to drive. I'm watching Forsberg drive like a car he's never driven before, and it was kind of like they're all like had to hit zones and stuff like that. It wasn't twinning or anything like that, but his precision driving in a car that he just, you know, he'd done like 6 laps in, and he was driving it way better than every single person there.
Yeah.
Because they got to compete, and at the end, Forsberg, and it was a good amount of money. I think it was like a couple of grand or something like that. Forsberg wins it. He just goes, right, well, the guy who was second, who was an Irish guy, went, that's yours. You have the money. Like, such a nice dude as well.
Yep. Well, like, after I'd done this event with Luke, I was just at tracks like a couple of weeks later doing my own thing, wandering around. Just get a tap on the shoulder, and it's just him wandering around with his wife and kids. Just stopped to chat, and I was just like, oh, cool. And just, you know, really nice, just usual guy. You know, just interested in cars and everything, same as everyone else. There's no... I've said it before, I don't get this whole, like, why people need to be different around people they consider famous. But Callum's watching and has said that Luke ripped around Teesside better than anyone he's ever seen doing an E36. Callum, you're going to hate us in about 5 minutes when we change this track. Yes. You're going to hate that your PC's broken more than ever before.
Yeah, wait. You will be reconsidering everything you've ever questioned.
So I'm going to apologise to you now with a massive smile on my face. You should get your PC sorted and get in here in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3.
Right, I'm back at Big Track. Is anyone coming?
Yeah.
Yes, around there.
Like, I'm getting a little freezing issue. I know it's been a while since I played this game.
Getting your excuses in early.
No, I keep lagging every time I transition out. It's annoying.
I seem to have that problem, but only with this track. So I've turned all my settings way low, and
I
it's
just
alright.
topped the curb on the inside of one and messed my line up a little bit. But it's good. I'm still back in it at the hairpin. Ah! I happened to glance up and messed up the exit though.
Do this. That should be good. Oh, no, I felt it. Whatever. I'll deal with it.
Oh.
What?
I don't like that O. It's ominous.
No, it's nothing.
Okay. It's not a van that's appeared outside your front door with special delivery, is that?
No, that's never gonna happen.
So what? I missed that one. I was reading messages and wasn't quite listening.
He made a dig.
At who?
At Tristan.
Me.
A very subtle
That's-
dig.
About deliveries.
Alright.
He's,
I'm getting
he's,
used
now
to this.
he's now thinking about it and going, what?
Oh, alright. Not fast enough for you, Craig. It's fine.
No,
Oh, sorry,
Come
I was
on.
just replying to someone.
Chop chop.
places to be. Steve. Oh, it's just. Oh, you're coming in.
You've seen what I've just messaged
Keep
you.
going, keep going.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
on my badge. I was so focused on not taking out chairs.
Who?
It's the one below that you've just actioned. I found interesting.
Alright, there we go. There we go. I haven't crashed. I dodged everybody.
That's
And
what
still
you want
held
from
my
a
line.
drift run.
And
I'm
still
just
had
going
my
around.
line.
To say that he's got this.
Yeah, I held my line. I got this. No one got in my way. We're good.
To be fair, that is how I judge success on most runs at Drift Days.
No, none of us really drift on Xbox on anything on Forza, because after you've done it on Assetto Corsa with all the mods, there's nothing quite like it on consoles at the moment.
Ooh, I straightened out.
You know, not when we can make
Yeah, I know
like,
you did.
not when we can make custom tracks and cars and things like that on this. So
Stop leading me into the rumble strips. I'm too low.
I know there's some level of customization on Forza, but whoa, it's just not quite the same.
Whoa!
Oh.
Come on, I'm going through you. You're going too slow.
Well, I stayed off Craig's door, but I couldn't see like everything that was going on in front in the smoke.
Oh, well, let's put it like this.
I got nailed.
So to put it like this, he led me into all the rumble strips. I was catching no grip whatsoever.
Right. We will be back in a second. We're just going to make a couple of changes in the server.
Wait, no. Stop.
You absolute spoon.
better. You win sometimes, lose sometimes, no need to apologize. It was the distance we had between us. You broke us down in disguise, no need to apologize. But I can help that I miss you now, and I need to reminisce this cause still at a moment in, you keep coming back to me. I can't help that I miss you now. Can't say I like it, but I can fight it. Some things are not meant to be, even if it's hard to see. I'll try to let go. Let's skip the apologies. But I can help that I miss you now, and I need to reminisce this cause keep coming back to me. I can't help that I miss you now.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me. Just watch me.
I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait to see if it's worth your while. We've had this conversation, and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free